Love to listen to songs that I wrote 20 years ago. It's always really exciting. Okay, let's just run the game and see where I'm at. I want to enjoy the game. I think I've been watching videos of it and making videos to post on Mastodon for a few days or for a few hours last night, and just being like still really pumped about it. It's in a really good state, I think. And I have game saving now. I don't have game loading yet, but I think I want to do game menu before I do game loading because I don't have a mechanism. Like I could load the game and then it'll be trapped in that state. So I want to have the option to do game loading, game saving. And coming up with a new game. Love that. I love when this happens. Like if there's ever a way to bust through walls, like you spend an hour or 2 hours busting through a wall, and then you could go through there quicker. The way that tunnel just ended, it was probably connecting to that room. It stopped right there. It's really cool. Really pleased with the map generation algorithm. I watched a video this afternoon on roguelike map generation algorithms. Felt kind of stupid because I was like, oh, didn't look into this at all. I just did it. I just came up with my own way of doing it instead of seeing, what other people have done. And I've looked after that. I've looked at it, but still, even the improvements to the algorithm, they're all just me. Not me checking any guides or anything. It's me just coming up with ideas, doing it. And that's like really stupid. That's not the way it should be done. You should, build off the work of other people. Science. But, I don't know. I don't do things that way. I do things my own way. I do it in science too. I'm a scientist, and I do like my own. I come up with my own ideas for science, and I come up with my own programs and my own pipelines, and I think people get frustrated. Like it's hard to teach people my methods because my methods are just like all me. Like I like core R. R by itself is super powerful, and nobody uses core R. Everybody uses ggplots, I think it's called. It's like a big package that it's called the tidyverse. They've completely changed the way R works, and they've changed the grammar of R, and everyone uses that because there are a bunch of easy to use tools. But you can make really nice figures with R core. It's a really nice app right there. Okay, I love this too. You get two rooms together. But I did watch a video about map generation. I thought maybe instead of putting rectangle rooms down, there's a map generation algorithm called a drunken walk. I could drunken walk to make rooms. So you essentially start in the middle, and then it's a wall that's filled in with walls, and you just have like Hulk. The guy called it Hulk smashing. Just like picks a random direction and Hulk smashes, and then does that until he gets tired. So you give him like 100 steps or something. And I actually do have a program I wrote that does that. What is that program called? Like color? What is it? Draw rand, maybe. This is basically drunken walk. Okay, I mean, I'm walking in there with black. There's black drunken walk happening, so it like erases the rest of them. Also, it's a random thing, but this could be a room. Like if this is how you clear the room, that would be pretty cool. Be a cool way to do rooms instead of rectangles, but I kind of like the rectangles for now. So I'll keep them rectangles for now. So let's go ahead and look at our list of things to do. So I have saving. I need to do loading, and I need to do title screen. So I'm going to start with title screen. So first we're going to make something called menu. Menu.c and menu.h. And let's go ahead and get those started. Anytime you make a header file, you gotta make sure the header file can get read by multiple, it's going to get read by multiple source files. So you need to include this in everything that accesses its functions. However, if you include this once and then you try to include it again, it gives an error. It will not compile. And so you have to do this thing every time you make a header. You're saying if it's not defined, this term, so we're just defining this term menu_h. If that is not previously defined, then define it and do everything that follows. And then if you call this from two files, the second time it comes in here, it'll say if not defined. Oh, that's already defined, and it'll just skip this whole block. So you do that for all your header files. That's kind of a trick, a C trick. So you don't get double definitions of functions. Even if they're the same definition, you can't have double definitions. So let's go ahead and open menu. And I'm in main here, over here. So I need to see main without an E, that is. I'm not in the state of main. So where do I need to do this? Essentially, I need to do it. This should be the first thing I do before I generate maps or anything. So I need to rearrange this stuff a little bit. So the first thing I am going to do is going to be init curses. So let's initialize the curses thing and go to the main menu. Init curses and then main menu. I'm probably going to want something to be returned from that, like a game state or something. So I'll have to figure that out, how I'm actually doing it. But I guess essentially I do need to get into a loop, an input loop. And I'll just copy this whole stupid thing. So over in menu, I'm going to have, for now, need a void. And did I write it with a space in there? I don't think I did. I think it was underscore. Yeah, I like snake case. I'm a big snake case enthusiast. So I will probably get arguments in there, and I'll probably do all that kind of stuff. But let's just get this going. And I'll need a return type. I don't know. For now, I'll just define this like this. Okay. So what we do is we enter into an input loop. So we need a thing here. And I guess he can be quit again on the screen. So the first thing we do is erase, and then we don't do any of this, but we need to draw menu. So I'm going to need a function called draw menu. And that's actually going to be over in display. The display handles all my input output. That is handling most of my output. All my output, some of my input. Some of my input is elsewhere. But display is handling the output. Yeah, it's handling the display. That makes sense. It's not the input output, it's just the output. So I do need in here a function, and it's going to be extern void draw menu. Okay. And that's going to be called, well, let me actually make the function. And this is not external here. It's external in the header, but it's not external here. So there we go. We got that. And then over here, I need to include display.h. And I also need this getch thing. Guess what I need for that? I need ncurses. Oh, I don't need that. What I need is lib. Is it libs or lib? Libs of TikTok. I think it is libs. I think that's how I remember that now. Like, seriously, this hate account, I'm remembering what it's called because of that. It's terrible. That'll load. What does that load? Math and ncurses. I mean, I don't need math over here, but I don't need to keep this straight. All this stuff, I might eventually, when I swap out and do SDL stuff, I'm going to change the way it works. You know, obviously I'll have to swap out a lot of things in and out, but when the time comes, I'll at least be ready. That would be funny to mix and match SDL with curses. And there might be something better than SDL. Honestly, there must be. SDL is fine, but SDL is a wrapper for a lower level functionality. It's a wrapper for OpenGL. And OpenGL is, I'm sorry to say, on its way out. So maybe there's something. I mean, I don't need any 3D, you know. I don't need anything super complicated, like full OpenGL. I've looked into learning that, and I don't need that. I have no interest in doing 3D anything. So anyway, let's go in here. So P will quit. We'll need to draw the menu, refresh, and sleep. So then we'll enter into a case switch that'll do stuff. So let's make a draw menu. So what we need to do is draw player info. Let's just pull this stuff up here so I know the commands. And I don't need to do that. I don't need to do any of that. But what do I need? What do you need on a menu? You need like new game, load game, save game, and these should be like inaccessible at the very beginning. Yeah, so this needs like an int state. Save game, quit game. Okay. So what we're gonna do is menu option state. So this will be new game, any state. We'll have that, all states. Load game, all states. No. I'm gonna do a bitwise flag. That's what I'm gonna do, a bitwise flag. So load game will be loaded in state will be save game exists. So if a save game does not exist, you do not draw the option for load game. Save game, game in progress. So I don't actually need save game. That'll be in the game. These options are kind of options. These menu options are kind of silly. And that could be all states too. So I'm just thinking, you know, you're gonna hit escape or something, and then you're gonna go out to the options menu in the middle of a game. But you know, maybe I shouldn't even have quit game. That shouldn't be there either. Save and quit. Okay, yeah, that's what it is. So game. So we'll just call this. What do we call that? So I should have two, like save and quit. Quit is like game not started. And this would be game in progress. I don't know. It's quick save, right? So if you quick save, I guess I could let people save games. I don't know. Game in progress. All right. So I need to figure out how to do the flags. I actually have a thing that I wrote a while ago doing bitwise flags. Because I'm really bad at bitwise math. And set flag, clear flag, get flag. So the thing about flags is, let's say you have 8 bits, okay? 1 byte taking up 8 bits. This can be 8 different options, or 8 different states. So this could be just all states, it doesn't matter what the value is. But if you have one there, maybe that means game in progress or save game exists. And then that means game in progress, save game doesn't exist. Or game in progress, save game does exist. So you can use bitwise flags. You're just using one bit to take care of, 1 byte can take care of 8 flags. And the reason I would do this, or you could even take like a uint64, use 8 bytes, and you could use 64 flags. The reason I would do this is not for memory, saving memory. That's why a lot of older programs will use flags. If you're running on an embedded system, you can use one byte to take care of 8 different things. Very desirable. On a modern computer, it doesn't matter. Even Raspberry Pi, it's not going to save any time. It might even be slower. But the reason I would do this is for simplicity, so I can pass a single value to determine the game state. And yeah. So I'm thinking about how I'm going to do this. I need a function over here that's going to be uint 8t get game state. And then I'm going to need a structure over here. Maybe I'll just keep this a hidden structure. And this will be like game state. All right, and then in there I can have uint 8t state. What else do I need? Do I need anything? So I was thinking about options, like I could include options and stuff in here. If this is the case, maybe I'll make this a struct later, but this can actually be just one of these guys. So in the main menu, the first time it's called, I guess what we'll do is set that equal to 0 at the very beginning. So the first time it's called, you do that. Get game state, I guess we'll just return state. I mean, that's so stupid to do it that way. Okay. Oh, I closed my flag thing, damn it. Go back into here. Oh no, it's open, it's main.c. Let me see how I actually do this. Init flags. So init flags, it's a flags and it's 32. So apparently did 32 1 byte things. So 32 bytes of options. Sets them equal to 0. So that could actually be like I have something init menu. Yeah, let's do that. So void init menu. You don't need that. So the first time you run, you got to initialize the menu. I'm overcomplicating things as always. First thing you're going to do is init the menu. You got to do that over here. Init curses, init menu, initialize curses, and the menu. Then go to the main menu. Okay, then over here, we're going to have this, and it's going to do what I'm doing here. It's just going to set it equal to 0. Right, because it doesn't need to have any flags turned on right now. And what I could do here is I could actually have an enum to declare what the state is. Which I probably will do that. In which case I should just use an integer. I shouldn't use uint t. Seriously, maybe I should just use an integer. think that's what I'll do. Just easier, not worrying. Don't worry about, you know, saving bits and bytes. Just use an integer, it's fine. And then in here, what I can do is an enum. I can call it states, and then it can be what are the states that I just said. Save game exists. Oh yeah, that's the problem. Okay. Because a save game can exist, and you can have a game in progress. So that's why I wanted to do it that way. Shit. I had already forgotten. Alternatively, what I could do it that way still. I could do an integer. And what I could do is enum states. Then I could actually define them. So this is just an unusual way to do this. But we could say unloaded. And I could say unloaded, loaded, save game exists. That would be 2. What else? Game in progress. So that's, yeah, game in progress, game loaded, save game exists, game not started, game in progress. So that, if that's it, then that's all I need to do. Let's close that. The thing that I didn't get to show here is if I was going to do another attribute, it would be equal to 4. So now these are equal to unloaded. We'll just do that. Unloaded, loaded, and then save game exists. And then if I had another state, it could be that. And then if I had another state, it would be that, which is 8, I think. Yeah, 8 in binary equals 0.2 meters. Thanks, Spotlight. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that's 8. I don't really count in binary very well. I can do it if I have to. You just have to go digit by digit. Yeah, so that would be equal to 8. So if I have any other states that I'm thinking of, they'll be, so state 1, 2, 3, we'll say state 4 equals 4, state 5 equals 8. So we'll figure them out. Oh, and this should be a comma. This is not a struct. This is an enum. Okay. So yeah, then that way I can do like kind of bitwise things. I think that. Okay, that means over here, this needs to load menu.h. Okay, and then I actually do have to do some stuff here. So initialize menu should do something state equals plus equals check save exists. All right, so that means now I need save.h, and over here, oh, print, my God, I need save.c, and I need save.h, and I need extern int Save underscore exists. I don't like this. Let's change some stuff around here. I don't like having a, you know, snake case in one place and like whatever this spaceless case is. I don't like that. So I'm just gonna fix that real quick. Fix it. Fix it. That. Change that. Anything else? Here, there should be something. Quit save. Quit save. Yeah, well, I don't know. I'm guessing, yeah, quit and save should be the only thing. Should not have a save in progress. It should be if you're saving, you're only quitting. Yeah, I probably missed something here, but okay, then you know this should be the first thing. Save exists. So we need a thing here. Save exists. What's the best way to see if a file exists in C? Other than just trying to open it and read it. Answered my own question. That's the easiest way for now. So I guess what we're going to try to do is f equals fopen game.dat and then read. And then f gets C gets a character from file stream. Yeah. If f is equal to null or get a character C equals f gets C f. Right, is that what that is? Gotta look at it again. F gets C, you give it a file. Yeah, okay. We're gonna do that, and we're gonna say not equal to end of file. Return 0, else return 1. Okay, so what this is doing is it's trying to open the game.dat. I guess what I should do is this. You know, you forget certain things here. You can't just leave an open file pointer. So it has opened. If it's not equal to end of, no, if it is equal to end of file, so you've tried to read it and there's nothing there, have an empty file, then we're going to return 0. And then otherwise, hey, there was something there, but we have to do one thing first. I don't like doubling up f close. So what I could do to change that is this. Just have f close once. You don't need to close it if you can't open it. I'm guessing this is like if the file does not exist, it'll be null. I really think that. Fail if the file does not exist. And what does a fail equal? Nothing. It's not tell me. Fine. It's a fail. You know, if you're trying to get a pointer, it'll return null. That's how I've always written it. So if oh yeah, Then what we can do is C equals fget cf. We have to do that. Then close the file, and if C is equal to end of file, return 0, else return 1. Okay, that's a little cleaner. It's more lines. It's actually a little dirtier because it's more lines, but I think it's more, it's I don't know, I'm not repeating the f close. I'm getting a single character. If I can do that, and it's not the end of the file, then we're returning 1. So that means the file exists. And I do believe I shouldn't use 1. So I should include menu.h here. And it should be save game underscore exists. That sucks. That's terrible. These are states. Great, so that'll be state unloaded. We'll say state empty. State loaded. State save. Yeah, that'll have to be, so state save. Yeah, that's makes sense to me. That's all that matters. So these are states. So I like to do, when I use the enums, I like to name all the enums. In this case, the enum is called states. And I like to name all the enums. Maybe it should be states. This is how I typically like to do it. How did I do it over here? Floor type. Floor open. I mean, this doesn't even matter. It's a floor. And apparently, oh yeah, it does matter for floor. Floor is a keyword. You can't reuse a keyword. Anyway, floor underscore open floor. Yeah, so that's fine. I never ever use the name of the enum. I'm not a person who does that. So this can just be state, so that it's state. Just keep things simple. Keep it simple. State enum state state save. And state empty, we're just going to do that for parallelism. Keep things parallel. So I like the other way I wrote this, so what I'm going to do is C equals fget cf is equal to EOF, then f close f, return. It's like cleaner, it's shorter. I'm repeating code, but it's shorter. It's just nicer. And it's a single branch. I mean, I consider this a single branch because it's if, else, else. And I don't have anything nested inside these. I mean, technically the else if is nested in the if. Is it? The if is nested in the else. All right, there we go. So we have a save exists situation. Okay, so init menu, that's what you're going to check. Does the save exist? And if it does, add it to the state. This thing. Okay, so now when we go into display.c to draw the menu, game title is going to be in the top left. This is Y and then X. So let's just do this 1 1. Actually 1 2. These always do Y and then X. You think it should be X and then Y, but ncurses really, it goes like rows and then columns. It always does rows before columns, which makes sense to me because everything that I do, it's always rows before columns. So game title goes here. I don't have a game title yet. And then what we're gonna do is do this. Let's make a mock menu. So right now I have it like that. Okay, so we should do main menu. Goes menu, goes here. Okay, then new game. Load game, options. And maybe make it like this. Where am I? Load game options quit. Load game options quit. Quit. Or save and quit. Yeah, so it should be like this. This looks fine. Maybe more like that. So don't go the full 8. Just go 4. That's 5 apparently. All right, so let's go and put this over here. I have my little thing to base it on. So this should now be, we should have a, that's 1, 2, this is 3, 2, main menu, and then 4, 2, no, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5. And maybe I'll do this. It'll disguise the fact if there's no save game, load game won't be there. So, you know, I don't have to have like 1, 3, 4. So it makes sense to do it this way. Let me just get everything in there and then I'll put the logic in. So 5, 5, load game. 6, 5, options. And then 7, 5, quit. And 7, 5, same place. It'll be a queue also. Save and quit. So just changing the what's being referenced there. Okay, so this should at least display and it should work. It should compile if everything's fine. And it should just get into a loop and do nothing. So if I run this, if I compile it, so I did make a few changes, so there are sure to be some errors here. Yeah, and there's plenty of errors. So let's just see. Yeah, wow, expected semicolon after an enum. Of course. And unused parameter state, draw menu state. So draw menu state. What calls? Oh no. My trackpad just died. Uh-oh. I do not have a charging cable in here, so let's see if turning it off and on will give me just a little bit of battery power. It did not. Alright, lovely. Do I have anything that can charge this? No? Okay. I'm gonna get up and walk out of the room. I'll be right back. Okay, here we go. Can at least hardwire it. This is the same charger as my phone, and you know, everything I have uses this charger format. So, of course, I only have one of them. I definitely have 6 or 7 of them. I just don't know where any of them are. Disappeared over the years. Good. Draw menu state. So what's actually calling draw menu? I think it's this. Draw menu state. So that should pass state. Why don't I actually put the logic in there? But I can. It's just a warning. No, let's fix these errors. Okay, so call to undeclared function init menu. All right, so init menu has to be declared over here, which it is, and this needs menu.h then. Forgot to put in. Which is smart. Hey, Locke. Things are going well. I just got started. It feels like I just got started. I've been doing this for 50 minutes and I've made no progress. I'm working on doing the main menu now, and you sleep. All right, so where does you sleep? You sleep is in uni standard, so let's go put that in. Menu. Uni standard. And let's compile and see what happens. Okay, an error. Too many arguments to function call. Draw menu state. So this int state must have declared it. Yeah, there we go. So that's fine. Let's just see. I should get a menu. I get a menu. And then nothing's going to happen. It doesn't work yet, but at least you can see it. And there we go. We generate a map. So I didn't do anything, but why is there a random number here? Why is there a random number being drawn there? Okay, that's not good. That's because the seed, yes, this is what happens. We're going to seed the RNG first thing we do. Just for now, I need to change the order that things are going. So let's try this again. Okay, there we go. We got a thing. I'm just gonna get out of that. I think it's generating, yeah, it's generating 10 maps, which takes 2 seconds. There we go. We got it. No random number this time. It was printing this out. So every time the game runs, it prints out the random seed. If I like the seed, if I like the map, I could always write these down and use it. In fact, I think when you do new game, I will have the option, you know, it's going to do like character creation, map creation, all that stuff. So I'll give the player the option to enter a map seed. So, you know, if you want to replay the same seed, yeah. I always like that. There's going to be an issue with that in that it's only the map generation. Everything else, once you say you start a game and you walk up twice and then you walk to the left and your timing is different, the random numbers have diverged already. It's like atoms hitting each other. Like it's like the whole I don't know what you call that. Relativity, quantum relativity or something. I don't know what it is. Quantum something. It's like physics, how it's the butterfly effect, when everything, you make one little thing that's different, and even if you started from the same state, you're going to get infinitely many changes. And so if they enter a seed, they'll get the same maps, but everything else will be different. Indeed. Hey, Sax, how's it going? We call that lucky hit. Game of lucky hit. I already know the rules. But I still want the player to be able to enter a seed, and so I'll put that in the menu when I get there. Okay, so now let's put some logic in here. So I put these states in. And how am I going to do that? How am I going to do that? I have bitwise flags. How do you use bitwise flags? don't know. Don't know how to do it. I should know how to do it. It's one of these. I think it's and. Okay, so I think it's this. Okay, so the save game exists. It's going all right. I'm doing a map thingy. So I'm doing a main menu thing. So a main menu, I'm putting in a main menu. I have saving done. I'm putting in a main menu, and then I'll be able to put in loading. So I can load the game state. So I guess for load game, I need logic. And what I'm going to do is if state and, what are they called? State save is equal to state save. I think that's how that works. So these are bitwise flags, but they're not technically, I'm not actually doing bitwise math. So that's where the problem is here. What I'm doing is I'm doing manual bitwise. So I have 0, 1, 2, 4, and 8 for these different game states. But I want to be able to pass a single variable, and I want it to have multiple things. So let's go back here. So I think this will work. So if that's the case, we're going to print that out. Okay, and what I can do is I can have a line thing and say line equals 6, else line equals 5. We don't have an empty line here. And then if state and state, what is it? What did I name them? Loaded. Then line plus 1, else line plus 1. Okay, so then this is if you, I think this will work. Let's just see. So there should not be a game state in progress, but there should be a load game. So we should have load game, but we should then have quit and not save and quit. Oh, place parentheses around is equal to, what does this say? Has lower precedence than equals. Okay, so this, apparently you do it this way. Thank you for the warning, compiler. All right, so we should have load, and it says save and quit. Fuck's sake. Why does it say save and quit? It should say just quit. State. Oh, but it says load game. So state and state loaded is equal to state loaded. What is state loaded? 1. And state save is, state loaded is 0, 1. State save is 1, 0. So this should not be happening. It's like it's doing this. It's not doing this one. I know it's not. I don't even need to put that in. So it says save and quit. Well, those are mutually exclusive. That's how I know it's not going there. Oh, because I have this backwards. So if it's loaded, yeah, that's why. It was doing it right. I was doing it wrong. So if the game is loaded, then you do save and quit. But if it's not loaded, you just do quit. And there's a little extra white space there. Okay. So now we have, okay, good. It says quit. And I want to just delete this thing here. Game.dat. Now let's see. There's no game save file, and so it got rid of the load option. So we don't have the load option. So fancy. Fantastic. All right. Yeah, things are going all right. I'm getting a menu, and I'm going to have a load game function soon. So it's all coming together. I've done this before. I've done this multiple times for different games. So I know how to do it, and I know how to. I think the way that I did it before was really, it was so patched together and Frankensteined. Nothing works yet. It just, it does this for now. But and now if I load it again, it should say load. Yes, it does. It says load. Good. And I guess what I can do now, let's go back to menu. Let's get these functions working. And I guess what I need is int. Make this an int. And make this an int. And then what I need is another enum. I'm going to call it menu. I'm going to call it menu quit, menu load. Okay, that's all I need for now. So what I can do is I can just do this forever. So it's just going to loop forever. Okay, so Q, how did I do it over here? Lowercase first. Okay, technically I think you should do uppercase first, because uppercase comes before lowercase in the ASCII table, I think. But I'm okay doing lowercase first. That's like the human way to do things. So just be parallel, that's all I need. We quitting, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna return menu quit. That's what it was, right? Menu quit, menu load. And you do technically need a break here, even though, I mean, you don't need a break. I think you'll get a compiler warning though, if you don't have a break. So what else do we have? We have new game. Okay, yeah, that's guess what? That's a thing. So menu new. Let's put these in order. Menu new. I think it was menu load. Menu quit. And then menu, yeah, menu quit's the same as menu save quit, whatever. Menu new. Okay, so if n return menu new break and L. So we have an issue here with L, is that you might not have a game state loaded. There might not be a load. So if they press, there might not be a load. God, shut up, man. Don't say this. So if we're not just going to return menu load, we're going to say if state and no, is it underscore state? It's here. It's, I should just do this. I should do get game state just to piss everybody off. No, we'll just access the global variable from within here. If state and state, what is it? Loaded? Loaded? I hate this. I hate this so much. Loaded. What I'm going to call this is progress. I get it. I know why I called it loaded, but it's just too confusing. I'm going to call it progress. Game in progress, essentially, is what that state is. So if state and state save is equal to state save, then we return menu load. And what else? NL O. Oh, if it's O, we'll do some options. We'll do it in the menu.c. And I'll have a whole options structure. So no options are going to be present yet. But I'll put the code in there. Get it ready. Now, yeah, you know, some style guides will say if you do this, you have two cases going into the same area, that you should comment every time and say fall through to the next. Like they'll do this, they'll say fall through, and they'll comment that. But that is so stupid. It is such a waste of space. It's so obvious why I'm pairing these lowercase and capitals together. Anyway, so we have loading, we have quitting, we have all that. So let's just now we have to actually do something with that. So I need an integer here, keep track of the game state, not the game state. Menu, like what's the menu return? We'll just call it menu, and I say menu equals main menu. So menu equals main menu. Now we're gonna, I guess I have to put in some logic here. Okay, this is not hard. Just trying to think of what's the best way to do it. And so I need a function. So menu, what am I gonna call this? Like game startup. I'll just call it game startup. That's stupid, but it's what it is. So we're gonna put that down here, and it's gonna be void, and it's gonna be static game startup, and it's gonna be menu, and we're gonna put this up at the top. Okay, and now in here, what I can do is I can say, well, if game state, if menu is equal to menu quit, then you know I need a quit function. So I need a quit function, and I don't actually have one up here. So what I need to do is I need to change this. And we're gonna do this. We're just gonna loop forever. Loop forever. Okay, so P. I need to put P in here. These are not in alphabetical order, man. And that is quit. I need a function called game quit, which I should have had all along. Game quit. And I guess I need like an integer for that too. Game active. We're going to do that because you need to know if you're saving and quitting, or if you're, you know, if you're just quitting. So game startup, if it's this, we're going to say 0, game not active. And so up here though, I need to do yes, it's active. So then game quit's going to have different logic. So I've already got that logic in here. I just need to move it. Game quit. Yes, and I need a few other things here. So I do need the player. I need to pass the player over there. Because quit save, I need to do quit save. So this stuff, I'm gonna actually, you're never gonna get down here. Let's just do this first. This is gonna get null. Gonna get struct player. All right. So the first thing you're gonna do is if player is not equal to null, you're gonna quit save, and then you're gonna kill the player. And then you're gonna do that. You're gonna do this. Free map wallet. Might as well free the map wallet. You don't need to. You know, at this point, the game is self-destructing. Then you got to kill curses, and then you got to exit. So that's, I mean, I think that's pretty much it. So if the game is active, we're saving. It's either quit or it's quit and save. And if you are here, you go into the menu, the first thing that happens is it goes straight into the menu. Oh, then it does actually do this stuff. Well, we're going to move this stuff. Okay, we're going to do this. We need to put this stuff elsewhere. So let's get the skeleton of where that's going first. But if the game is not active, so you just start it up and then quit, nothing is in memory yet, and so you don't have to quit, you don't have to save, you don't have to kill the player space or the map space, or even free the map wallet. So then we need else if menu is equal to menu new. Menu new. Maybe that should be the first thing. Let's do them in order. I'm so bad at typing. Okay, so then what we actually need to do is a game init. We need to do game init. So we're gonna game init here. So we need a game init function. And I probably do need some variables or arguments or something in there. But for now, nothing. So it came back. If you're doing a new game, you need to do all this stuff. This is like new game. So now let's go down here and put this stuff in new game. Game init. I should probably, and you know, I've just realized this, and all this stuff that I do, this player, this should just be global because it's just going to be easier to deal with if it's global. So now I just need to go through and make sure that we just change all the things. This. And map does not need to be global because I have a map wallet, so it's on a current map in the map wallet. The map wallet is a double pointer to a bunch of map pointers. So that is a fine way to do that. I could just copy and paste this easier. And I'm not a believer in Control F, replace all. That's what I'm doing there. That's why I'm not doing that. Okay, and the very first thing you can actually do is set that equal to null. Actually, both of these, you can set them equal to null. Okay, and then I changed the way this works. So one of the reasons I did that, startup, game quit. Yeah, well, I don't know why I did that. I don't know what I'm thinking here. Okay, so this doesn't need player now. Game quit does not need player. So that. Fill map space map. Oh, okay, interesting. So this is actually, this is the way, this is very interesting. I went from having a single map to having a map wallet. And so I'm actually not clearing the memory right here when I do this. So I need to fix that, which is easy. Not that big a deal. And just to make my life easier, we'll just do this. Plus I. Then kill it. Yeah, there we go. So I was just clearing out whatever map was current, and now it's killing all of them. So that's awesome. That's like a little bug a little memory leak. It's not an important memory leak because it's at the end. When you're closing out a program, your operating system kills everything in memory, so it doesn't stick around. But just in case something changes, this could potentially happen, like where I'm changing the memory. Let's say I'm changing the display resolution and I have to tear down all my structures and build them back up in SDL and reload them. Like, so you're unloading everything and then you're loading. If you did that like 10 times, there'd be a little memory leak. So that's just a quick fix of that. I don't use Valgrind or anything, so it's good to be able to recognize those when you see them. Okay, anything else? Player. This can now equal player. Let's just see if there's any. Okay. Game quit. And look cursor. It doesn't actually need that now. So obviously you don't need player anymore. Power to the player. Do this. Okay. Well, the compiler will tell me if I missed any, and then the runtime errors will tell me. So let's go back to game and net, just make sure this is going well. So the first thing we do is we make the maps. So we say malloc and maybe what I can do is this: if map wallet not equal to null, we can do that. Remap wallet. Of course, so I do have map wallet equals null. It starts out at null. Loading is going to be a kind of a bear. I'm a little worried about that, but it'll be okay. We'll get it. We'll get there. So first we set up the map wallet and we make the maps. This is new game. So I'll actually change this to game new. Game init is kind of, you know, is kind of vague, ambiguous, if you will. Okay, and then what is this? Prev-x, prev-y. Okay, so I need integers. Prev-x, prev-y, and I don't think I use those upstairs anymore, so I can get rid of those. Yeah, I don't use them up there, so I got rid of them. Set those equal to that, and then we do this, so we need an I integer. Map wallet plus I, init map space, prev-x, prev-y, map equals map wallet. Place that character on the entrance. Okay, so that that's fine, but I do need a map structure here. And probably need something here. I mean, maybe I can have a pointer that's like constantly pointing to the correct map. That's probably the best way to do this. That's probably the best way to do this. So that's what we're gonna do. So we'll get rid of that, and we'll do this. So what I need to do is this. Where was that? That was here. A map. So that's a global pointer, and then I won't have to change that again. So let's go up here and say change all these references to map. So many. That's fine. And guess what? Look, cursor, you don't need that anymore. We're really streamlining these things. That should actually be this. Okay. And this. In global variables. I mean, I'm breaking all kinds of rules. This will actually make this a lot nicer. So look cursor, just give it player X, player Y. Okay, so now we can generate a new map. I think that's mostly good, and let's just go ahead and try it. So see what happens. Okay, get some errors here. It's okay. That's expected. Unused variable I in main. Really? I might as well dink that out of there. Too many arguments to function call. Game quit. Oh yeah, game quit. Game quit. I changed the way that worked. And what's this? Unused parameter, game active. Oh, really? Oh, yeah. It is. I don't use that. So game quit now just doesn't get called with any arguments. Okay. So I thought I would need arguments for that, but I don't. I use the state of the global variables. If they are null, then you don't need to save and quit. The game is not active. So that's like an easy way to say that. All right. Yeah, I didn't even use that variable. I passed it along all this way, and then I didn't care. So let's just clear and get some more. Variable C is uninitialized when used here. So menu 25. Main 25. Wait, menu 25? Yes, menu 25. I'm in the wrong file. The switch C. Okay, yeah. C equals, I forget what the command is. It's like get, something like that, maybe. C equals getch. Yeah, it's getch. C equals getch, so we're getching. How did I get away with that before? No idea. Warning, unused parameter map wallet. Load save, unused parameter player. So far so good. Ooh, so far so good. So let's, that's not how you do that. Let's just try it out here and see what we get. First thing, quit. Quit works. Quit again, it works. All right. So I don't have loading involved, but if I hit N, it should be able to make a new game. So let's just see what happens. It made a new game. It went into the game state, and I'm just going to go up a floor. So it generated a new map. Generated a new map indeed. Okay, let's try going up a floor. Up a floor, it worked. Oh my god. Okay, and now if I save and quit. We save and quit. Save and quit. Alright, so far so good. So things are working. So now I need some way to do loading. And loading is going to be very interesting. So I'm going to say, need it in here. Else if menu is equal to menu load. This is what I'm most worried about. What we need to do, load game. Is that what I call it? Load save. And we actually need some things. We need more things to give that. So we give it a map wallet, we give it a player, and then I think we need to give it a map as well. Okay. I'm just giving it all the things that it gets. So it gets the map wallet, it gets the map, and it gets the player. So then all the logic is removed from here, and it should be able to just go straight to save.c. And so then this, I can write this function now. Which is kind of a, it's going to be a bear. It's going to be a bear. It shouldn't be too bad, I suppose. And if there's no file, you should not be able to go. You can select that as an option. It should not be available as an option. Yes. You know, I also need something over here. And it's going to be void get set game state, and it's going to get a state variable, and then it's going to do that. And then I guess what I'm going to do is state equals state and state. So you're getting a new state variable. Well, that's a problem, isn't it? Because if it's unloaded, you get progress turned off. I don't know. I'll have to think about that one when I use it. Just make sure the logic checks out. I need to draw like flowcharts on the wall with yarn, pieces of yarn strung around, and red yarn, of course. But let's focus on one thing at a time. Let's not get bogged down. Okay, so the first thing we need is a file pointer. This is all you do. You pick one thing you can do, and that's one thing I can do is set a file pointer right there. And then what I can do is fopen. And then it's going to be game.dat, and it's going to be read. So it's already checked. If it gets here, it's already checked that the file exists. So it knows it exists. And I guess what I can then do is go up here and see what's the first thing I do. I do save map, and then I save player. So save map. What I can do is I can just kind of go through here and copy all this. Wow, that's so much stuff it's going to be loading. So what I need to do instead is load. I need a function. That's what I do. I need the same thing. So it's going to say load map. Maybe that should be save maps. Yeah, because then I need a function load maps, and I'm going to pass it the map wallet. I'm going to pass it the file pointer. Okay, easy. And it's going to be called load maps. This is going to be static. And it's going to get a map wallet. It's going to get a file pointer. And then just by virtue of how I'm doing this, I need load player. File pointer. Okay, and then so I'm going to do load maps. I'm going to do load player. And then I need to do one more thing, and that's I need to set. Ooh, how am I going to do that? Actually, maybe this should be, instead of pointing to a struct map space, this is a struct map space. It's a map space pointer. Yeah, I think that's the way to do it. And then when you, yeah, when you do this over here, then what you're going to say is, you're going to do this. I don't even know if that's really necessary, because what I can do is at the beginning of each turn here, now up here, I think this, I'm just going to do this every tick. I mean, why not? So just to make this like part of the logic, like just always make sure that you're on the right map before you do anything. So I don't have to send the map over there. So let's go back down to this. I took out the map. I took out the map. And this can just be a void. Fuck it. I don't need error checking for now. I'll do it later. And why did I do error checking there? I mean, obviously, it's going to fail. If it fails, like if someone goes in and starts messing around with that file, it's going to screw up. Which, you know, if they do that, I don't care. They can get seg faults. I don't care. I'm not even going to test anything like that. I will need error checking, though, eventually, so we'll build it in when we need it. Okay, so now load maps. I need this whole thing, essentially. I'm just going to copy and paste everything, and I'm going to change all my fprintfs to fscanfs. That's how we do things around here. Actually, loading the player. No, let's load the map first. Fuck it. So, the first thing we're going to do, the very first thing was the number of maps. Oh, that's what we return. Yes, of course. Yes, so this should be an integer. That's what we're doing. This should be an integer as well. And we're going to do integer number of maps. And then this is going to be n maps equals that. And then at the end, it's going to return n maps. That's why we did that. And that's going to be an integer as well. So let's get that integerized. Oh, we don't have a prototype for that yet. Ah. Load save. And then back here, load save. What is the variable called? It's probably just n_maps. Num maps. So I need an integer num n maps. And well, yeah, we'll just do that. So when we create, yeah, do I need that? I guess I don't need that. I should have it though. Get away from this define. This define is kind of silly. Like I could set this equal to 10. And then there we go. No more num maps. So let's find where I had num maps. Change that to n maps. Obviously. Did have it in some logic. Nowhere else? Nowhere else, okay. Then I'll eventually need the logic. Like if say I have an easy mode, you get 20 maps. Hard mode, you get 100 maps, something like that. So I'll need that logic in here somewhere, but this is the start of that. We're getting it started. So let's go back here. The very first thing we do is we get the number of maps. So int number of maps, and we're gonna do, it's been a while since I've used scanf, so let's look at how fscanf works. It's a file stream and then a constant format string and then variables. So it's just like fprintf. It's the same. So the first thing we're going to do is get the number of maps. So we're going to do fscanf f and then do that. And then at the very end, we're going to return that. Okay. Then once we get the number of maps, we can set the map wallet up. Interesting. Okay, set the map wallet up. Yep, that's the first thing we need to do. So we need to say map wallet equals malloc. You know, though, fuck. It's not gonna work. Because right now I'm given a pointer. Given a pointer, and this pointer points to something. And if I do malloc, this pointer will now point to that, but not back in the function that called it. So how the hell am I going to do this? It can't be a pointer to a pointer to a pointer. That's technically the way you're supposed to do this. Surely. Fuck. I fucking hate that. Okay, the fabled triple pointer. It's happening. It's happening. We're getting triple pointers. Fuck. And when we call it, we're going to give the address. And I think I need to do that here too. Damn. Triple pointers, man. And that's going to be a double pointer. I can't believe that. Okay, so is that the right way to do this? I'm thinking. Pointing to a double pointer. Pointing to, okay, I can't visualize this. This is like thinking about a tesseract in real life. Like a triple pointer is, it's like a tesseract. Like I'm pointing to a pointer to a pointer. And I don't think this is the right way to do this. Pointing. No, it is. It is indeed how we do this. Okay. It's a triple pointer. So I'm essentially giving this function the address of this variable. Okay. This is a double pointer. I'm giving it the address of that variable. Yes, that's the way we do it. Can I close some of these so I can streamline my mind a little bit? Can I open that one back up? Get rid of that. Streamline my mind a little bit here. So I can think in the fourth dimension. That's really how this is going to work, man. Fuck. Okay, so what that points to make sure I'm calling it right, should be the address of map wallet, the address of player. Yeah. So you're changing what it points to. That's how we do it. You're changing what it points to, and you're saying malloc size of what it points to. And it's pointing to a double pointer. I think I just have to do it and make, and you know, I just have to do it. I can't believe I'm using triple pointers. I always regret this, but there's no other way to do it. The only other way to do it is to have something where I'm passing a reference to that pointer anyway. So this is just a reference to that double pointer. So that's the double pointer I'm interested in, but I need to change what it points to. And so now we're dereferencing the thing. So now we're We're going from triple pointer, and now we're down to double pointer. The double pointer is equal to the size of maybe we need to do this, because when I do a new game, let's look at this. Size of what that points to. Yes. Yeah, so this is right. The size of what that thing points to times the number of maps. Okay. Now we're talking. Right. And so now the first thing we bring in is we bring in a bunch of stuff for that map. So we enter a for loop. So now we've set up the space we need for the maps, and then we need to enter the for loop. Okay. First thing we need to do is we need to get away from this whole pointer to a pointer to a pointer thing. Okay. So what we're gonna do is map. We have to just it's map wallet plus I, but it's to dereference that first, then dereference that. It's a triple pointer. Let me think about this. What I'm pointing to. I'm dereferencing a triple pointer. Now I have a double pointer. And then I'm adding 1 to that, and then I'm dereferencing it, and now I have a single pointer. Yes, this is the way to do it. And so now I don't have to think about pointers anymore because I have a reference to each map as I go. So now we're going to say fscan f, and I'm just going to copy this. Actually, I could just do that, honestly. And we're loading in the floor, the width, the height, the number of rooms. And then we're going to load this stuff. That should just be fscan f. Man, if this works, pointer logic is so mind-bending. It will be amazing. Then I have, what is J? J is, we need X and Y. Okay, this will be 4J equal 0. I could just copy and paste. That's actually the best way to do it. So then n number of rooms, and then we're going to do fscan f. And room X there. We're just copying and pasting. We're just doing it the same way. Doing it the same way we output it. Right now, get to load the floor space. I actually have to set up the floor space, which I haven't done. What else do I have to set up here? I didn't think about this. What are these? Room X and room Y are pointers, so I do need to do something with them before I load them into a thing that doesn't exist. So yeah, let's do that first. So map room X plus J. Yeah. This equals malloc size of what it points to. Yeah, and then it's going to be times map in rooms. Okay, and then this Okay, now I've actually cleared the space for that. I've loaded the space. So what else do I have? Floor space. I'll need to do floor space. Do that here. So map floor space equals malloc size of what it points to. And it'll be size of times this in rooms. Yeah, that's what you loaded. So now I'm just mallocing that floor space. That's not right. I didn't do that right. It should be map width times map height. Okay, then I can actually load it in here. So fscanf. And I do need an empty thing, but we'll figure that out in a second here. So then map floor space, fscanf, map floor space, and we're just getting, yeah, we're just loading it in. So if you look at these, let's load one of these. So this is what I'm looking at when I'm loading this. So I have all this floor space and I have to load this. And then I have all this. This is like what I've seen, what I've explored. That's the next thing. So that's what I'm trying to load right now into memory. So it's weird. I actually don't like the way that I have this set up because I'm messing around with maps and floor spaces outside of my usual initialization. So I might need to change the way I initialize floors, maps and floors and all that. But this will work for now, and I can always change it later. I know those are famous last words, but okay. And then how do I just load a single thing? Let's just get an empty thing there, and I think it's going to be fgetC. And it's going to be C equals. So fgetC is an integer, and yes, you give it a file stream. So this should just, let's make that an integer, not a character. It doesn't matter. This is just, there's always a new line at the end of that, at the end of the map. So we just want to clear that out. Okay, now let's get the explored. So map explored equals malloc size of what it points to times map width times map height. And we're going to just enter into a loop again. And we're going to change this to fscanf. Map explored is already set up for me. And then we're just going to do C equals fgetC just to spoil that new line at the end of each line. Yeah. And then that's it. Oh, okay, I think that's it. So now I need, let's see, that's map wallet. Good lord. Triple pointer, man. Triple fucking pointers. Who does this? Triple pointers. Double pointer. This should be a double pointer, and then I think I'm going to send that down. We're going to send a double pointer down to load point. Yeah, it's a little load player, so get a double pointer. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to do the same thing, but I need to actually look at the player. That was actually the first thing I should have done before. What is this player structure? Do I need to malloc anything, etc.? So nothing needs to be malloc. Oh, visible does. Okay, great. Wonderful. So that's fine. I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a size sort of thing. Oh, do I save that out? I might save that out. I don't. Shit. Oh, I don't save visible. So yeah, so I don't save visible data Visible is what's calculated every time you step forward. So you step forward, your visibility is calculated. It's calculated and cleared every step. But I do need the memory. I need to open the space for the memory. So I think probably it's probably a good way to do this. But then what I can do instead of doing it a good way is I can pass load play or something different. So let's pass it a map. That's the map wallet. That's the first map. We're just going to pass it the first map. Okay, and so what I need to do is change that load player thing and include a struct map space map pointer. And I don't think I have prototypes for these, so let's go ahead and put them in there while I'm thinking about that, so I don't get that error, the inevitable error. We pass it a map pointer, and that is just so that I can initialize the thing. Okay, let's go back. Now we just go into save player, and this is like so simple. But I need to do a few things first. Okay, so what that points to, set it equal to malloc size of double pointer. Okay, and then let's do this to make my life easier. I think is it player space? I think it is. Yeah. Player. Okay, then we're going to do that. And then we're going to say player. Oh, shit. Map wall. Yeah, we could do that up there. So I guess I'll just do P. P equals what that points to. So I don't have to worry about any of the other bullshit. So we can just do this. All right. And then there's one other thing you need to do, and that is to malloc viz and that's going to be map width times map height. There we go. Static void. Okay, well, map space. There's no time but the present. Compile. Let's get a bunch of errors. Let's work through them one by one, and then have this thing working. So 19 warnings and 2 errors. Take those warnings seriously. Declaration of struct player will not be visible outside of this function. Of course not. Do you know why? Because there's no such thing as a struct player. There's not. There's a struct player space. So we got that. Save.c line 32. Wait. Oh, there's one up here too. Okay. Incompatible pointer. Okay, let's do this again because that's a pretty big error to clear and see what we got. Here we go. So format specifies type int pointer, but the argument has type int fscanf. All right, lovely. So that's on number 98 here. Of course, you pass pointers, and that's what all these warnings are probably. Format specifies type int. Okay, so we need to do this for all of these. Okay. That's line 102, right? Yeah. Okay, 103, same thing. It's 4 errors, so we need to give it the address. That's the one difference between fscanf and fprintf. The format, you have to give it addresses, you don't give it actual variables. So I don't know about this. I guess probably, is line 107 on there? Yeah, it is. So probably instead of dereferencing, just don't dereference, because it needs an address. So that's probably fine. Just don't dereference. All right. And there's some stuff happening here. So we're going to give it the address. Okay, and then that's it. Let's go ahead and clear. See what we're down to. We're down to 7 warnings, so cleared those pretty quick. Okay, and then let's see, line 119. Format specifies type int star, but the argument has type character. Right. Yeah. Okay. Line 119. I don't know. I guess that'll work. Change that to C. Variable C set not used. Line 95. What? What are you talking about? Variable C set but not used. That is an outright falsehood. Type int but argument has type int star. Really? Oh, right. Guess, did I have those right? That's fprintf. Yeah, let's change that back. Let's change this to fscanf. I forgot to change fprintf to fscanf. I'm a little confused by that other warning. Let's go ahead and just do this again and see. Variable C set but not used, and then format specifies type character, but argument has type character star 18. Aha, yes, of course. So, we do that. I know how I do that. There's got to be an input for string. It's like f get s or something. So let's just go do that. So on line 134 is where we're at. So we're actually going to do this. And I need to learn how to use that. So f get s, how do you do it? F get s, it returns a character star. You give it the string. No. Gets, f get s. Give it the file stream last. You give it a size. So I guess 17 I would give it. And then what is this? You give it a string. Strict string. How do you use it? Let's read the description. Let's go reading. I have to read like an animal. The fgets function reads at most one less than the number of characters specified by size from the given stream and stores them in the string str. So why does it return a character star then? If any characters are read and there is no error, a 0 character is appended to the end of the string. The gets function is equivalent to fgets with the size. Okay, so let's just see here. Let's just try it. You know, just try things. Fgets string 18f. I think that's how it's going to work. I realized here after you load stuff, you load everything. You want to f close that shit because just in case you need to save it, you may need to make sure that it's closed. I think it doesn't matter. I think you can just, you don't have to worry about that, but I'm going to worry about it just in case. All right, let's compile and see what happens. Variable C is set but not used. Is set but not used. Oh yeah, of course. So what I should do is, if C is not equal to new line, we're just gonna print out like a warning. Oh shit, looks something like that. Now we're using it, so it's set but not used. That was the point of that error. Okay, well here goes. So let's try this out. Let's load the game. Segmentation fault. Yay! Hooray! Okay. That's easy enough to at least figure out where something is going wrong. So the first thing I want to do is go into display.c here. We want to make sure that I don't do this window thing. Right. Oh, it just returns the fuck out of there anyway. All right, good. So now we can make debug, and then I can run it on LLDB. There. Okay. And load. Okay. So that's a really great place to get a little error like that. You know, when you're reading fucking assembly code in the debugger, that's when you're having a good time. So thread backtrace, let's see what's going on. I'm in load maps. So something in load maps is going wrong. And I don't quite know what. Like, I have no idea what this is. Like what, but it's in the loading state that it's doing it. The map wallet has an address, so that's giving you an address. F equals something. It's in an F scan F. 103. Not there. So 103. It's this one. Interesting. Map cur floor. Map W, map H, map N rooms. So those should all be fine. Map wallet, and we're saying map equals. Oh, okay. So we actually have to. Yeah. So we actually have to do this. So map equals that. What that points to. So that. Fuck. How am I going to do this? I didn't actually malloc the map. That's the problem. Didn't malloc it. Ain't no mallocing. Map equals. Okay, so we've malloced the double. We've malloced the map wallet. We're past a pointer to the map wallet, which is a double pointer. And we've malloced that. So now we have a map wallet. And so before I do anything, what I have to do is this. So I have to say map wallet, dereferencing that, plus I, and then what that points to equals malloc size of what that points to. Boom, and then we can do that. All right, so that should fix that. Yeah, kill it. All right, good. Let's go. Oh, shit. All right, I'm getting a bunch of oh shits. That's how you know it's great. And my name is 11111. That's a quality screenshot right there. I'm telling you, you don't get that very often. I should save that for posterity. But that's a great state of affairs. And I am somehow I'm in the wall here, and I got the oh shit going everywhere. Well, why does it keep going everywhere? Like, why? What's happening to it? Wow. All right. Well, it just saved and quit. So now what I had before is all fucked. So let's go ahead and open it and see what we get. We get the spinning beach ball of doom. That's good. I think I may have forgotten to save one of these files. Which should be okay. It shouldn't be a problem. Like, the code editor is actually pretty smart. Let's go ahead and force quit here. It is not recovering. Ooh, look at that. Wow. To 48s. Okay, something went wrong there, of course. Holy shit. A whole bunch of shit went wrong. So looking at this is the post-mortem. It did load the map correctly, almost. There's a bunch of zeros. There shouldn't be... Something's wrong because the zeros are off. Like, the zeros are the rooms. The rooms are rectangles, but if you look here, they're kind of like, what's that shape called? A rhombus or a trapezoid or something? That's what that is. Whatever that is, they shouldn't be. They should be rectangles. So I'm missing out on a thing every time. And that's probably what everything is going wrong here. So, it's in here. Maybe it's this? Maybe the F... Maybe that. Let's take this out and see what happens. Alright, so I needed to do a new game first and then save and quit. So let's just do a little bit of exploration here. Okay. Save and quit. Now I'll try to load that. Oh yeah, and let's look at the file first. That's very interesting, code editor. You're being a little dingus with these. So maybe what I can do is open that in another file. Doesn't like updating. It's not that big of a file. It doesn't like updating that file for some reason. I don't know why. Right, that's okay. What I can do is, let's do text. No, we'll open it when we need it. We don't need it right now. Okay. So now let's go try loading. Okay. It did not load the visibility, but it did load the map. So, interesting. Interesting. I know what it is. I know what happened. I know what happened. I know what happened. I do know what happened, because what's going to happen is when I look at this, we're going to have a bunch of 48s again down here. Yeah. Get a bunch of 48s. It's because I'm loading an integer. It gave me a warning though. A warning. I don't like that. Loading everything else okay though. So that's certainly a good sign. It's just this. So it is 1000% because map explored is a character. I'm loading it as a character, and let's say I should load it as an integer. But what do I cast to what? What do I cast to what? So what I need is, I do need to use C. And no, it's an integer. C is an integer. Okay, so what I need to do is change this. The C, fscanf, F, D, not up here. Because floor space is loading. And this is going to be C. And then what I can do is map explored plus xy2 flat xy map width equals C. And that'll do the math for me. It'll cast that to a character. And that should be fine, and this needs to be in an address. Okay. So now that should actually work. And let's see what we got here. I got some errors, line 45. No, line 123. That should be that. So let's make a new game. Let's explore a little. Just open up one room. If I can get to one room, I'll be happy. Okay, save and quit. And I did not look at the name. Let's look at the very bottom here. It's Kazon. He's Kazon. Okay, now we're gonna run it again and we're gonna try to load it. Ah, Kazon is live. The time looks probably good. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to the second floor and then I'm gonna save it and quit. And then see if it loads in the right place and remembers all the visibility stuff. It's looking pretty good now though. I think it's actually working. I do believe it's working. That is a pretty massive thing, saving and loading a map this complicated of a data structure. It's not that complicated, but I mean, it's just a fucking struct. But I had to use triple pointers. You're using triple pointers, hello. It's pretty complicated. There's maybe like 10 people in the world who know how to use triple pointers. No, that's a gross underestimate. I think there are a lot of people that know what a triple pointer is, but I would say very, very few people are ever going to use a triple pointer in their life. And I have now done it successfully. It's good that I actually thought there would have been a more convoluted way to do it without the triple pointer. But I'm glad that I didn't have to set up this whole system of swapping global variables. And I could just pass a reference to the global variable instead. And it's fairly easy to work with. Where's the staircase? There's the staircase. We got it. All right, let's move up. It loads the map here. It's 219, floor 2. I'm going to save and quit. And then I'm going to go in here and load 219, 20, floor 2. And if I move around, I've explored a little, and I'm going to go back down. Everything I've explored is still explored. So saving and loading appears to work. And even doing it multiple times, coming back in. But we now have save games. That's pretty fantastic. Save and quit. Load. Great. Yeah, and it remembered what I explored, so that's pretty fantastic. So we have saving and loading. Hooray! I think I need to add monsters in here, because I'm thinking now, how am I going to keep track of the monsters? They're going to be monsters on each floor. You know, they need to walk around. They need to have pathfinding. I'm going to have to do this piecemeal. Add them in, add a memory structure to keep track of them. And probably monsters on another floor. So Caves of Cud does a really cool thing, where if you're being chased by a monster and you go up a floor, the monster follows you. I can follow you up the stairs, and I think NetHack probably does that too. They don't always follow you. In Caves of Cud, sometimes they'll stay behind and be like, screw that. I'm not chasing that guy. I think that's maybe a little too complicated, but potentially possible. I could have every tick, every monster in the dungeon could be calculated and could be doing stuff. I mean, the thing about C, you write your programs in C, you could do like millions of operations per second. And it's really the greatest advantage of writing programs in C, is as long as you write it efficiently, it's you know, possible of doing a great many number of calculations. So yay, we have loading and saving. So let's load that again. Just make sure. Let's go down back to the first floor. So we're on floor 3 now. So now we're on floor 2. These dungeons are so... The layout is so great. I love my new algorithm. Not fully explore this floor. Look at that. A whole space here left empty. I'm gonna love doing monsters. That's gonna be a lot of fun. And maybe, you know, NPCs should be in here too. Merchants and, you know, innocent people that got trapped in a dungeon for no fault of their own. That's a really big open tunnel here. I kind of like those and I kind of hate them. Because you can't see that when you're standing here, you can't see this whole area. You can only see a little bit of it. So you can only see that much. Which kind of sucks, but that's just the way my visibility works right now. Go back down. There we go, we're on floor 1. Save, run it again, load. That's the novelty. Saving and loading. Ladies and gentlemen, we have saving and loading. Wow, this was really complicated. I didn't think I had to go all the way around to get back up to those stairs. Like one path. Don't bite me, please. Yeah, so that's good. Saving and loading done. Dunzo, for the most part. I'll have to come in and modify it. It's pretty ugly, also. It's real ugly. I wonder... No, I got the oh shits, so I can take that out. I guess F-scan... I guess it just ignores the new line. I don't know what happens to the new line. But this is actually saving and loading, so it is working. I don't know what happens to that new line. If I go in here, look at the save file. So I explored all of floor 1, all of floor 2, and then apparently a little bit of floor 3. Didn't explore the entirety of floor 3. I love that you can see the path. This is a path here. Bunch of 2s. They're hard to see on stream probably, but I can see them on my screen. This is a room. That's where the staircase is. And then there's the staircase up. So I can come and cheat. I can look at the save file and figure out, oh, I need to go southeast and then east and then northeast and then wait, no. I have to go like around here. But saving and loading works, so that is, I can check that off the list. And we got a title screen. It's very rudimentary. We got it. Player stats, text log. So I'm thinking, I think for player stats, I need to brainstorm a little bit about it. But what I'm thinking for player stats is there's going to be physical, and then there's going to be... No, it's not even physical, so I don't want to do that. So I thought there's going to be either 4 or 6 passive stats, and then there's going to be 2 stat pools. So there's going to be HP, and there's going to be SP. So this is stamina points. This is health points. So those should be self-explanatory, but stamina points are going to be like for doing moves, for doing skills, for doing magic, anything like that. That's your basic pool, and I'm calling it stamina points instead of mana points or something, because I like the idea. Okay, something I really didn't like. When you look at, it's been like years, over a decade probably, since I played World of Warcraft. But when you look at World of Warcraft, you have magic users, and they have MP. And then you look at warriors, tanks, I forget if they're called warriors or whatever they're called. They didn't have that. They had rage points. And then you look at rogues and they have something else entirely, right? They don't. So I didn't like that there were 3 different things that all had their own mechanisms. I didn't like that. I want it to be unified. I want there to be one point system. Because otherwise I would have to do like this, and then I would just complicate things, and depending on the type of character they are, and maybe everybody can learn magic or maybe not. So anyway, stamina points is going to be the way that it works. And maybe melee heavy characters will work differently than magic users, but I want there to be one pool of energy. And I don't know, I might put in willpower points also. So willpower points would be an extra thing, so that's a maybe. Where you can spend willpower to... Actually, instead of stamina, it could be willpower. I'm brainstorming now. I'm just thinking out loud. Okay, then those are the pools. These are point pools. Then we'll have passive stats. And I really don't want a lot of these, so I either want 4 or 6. And what I'm thinking is like close range, so we'll call it physical. It would be physical attack and physical defense. And then we would have ranged attack and ranged defense. So if I change this at all, then it would also be yes, I can't have them all. Here's the funniest thing. So the third stat for both of these would be avoidance. So it would be dodging. And both of those terms I just used, if we call this physical avoidance, it would be PA. And if we called it physical dodge, it would be PD. So I've already used both of those abbreviations. So anyway, that would be... Well, that would be the third stat, and that would be physical dodge or avoid, and then it would be ranged dodge or avoid. And I'm actually thinking the avoid is probably the better main stat. So if I only do 4, I would actually do PD physical dodge. And then this would be resistance or defense reduction. And then this would be ranged dodge, and then this would be ranged defense or reduction. And so what I think the whole idea of defense dodge, defense, I want to come up with my own system. I'm not using a pre-existing system. This is why it's complicated. A lot of really smart people have put in a lot of their own time to figure out how these things work. Physical attack, so the way these are going to work, this is going to be a roll to determine whether attack succeeds or fails. And if high enough, we'll add bonus damage. And I think this is going to be the same. This is why physical dodge is going to be. So it's going to be a roll to determine whether enemy attack succeeds, fails, and if high enough, adds bonus damage reduction. So that's the same thing for all of these. Yeah, this is the way I want to do it. So then, because we have the 2 other stats, would be how much damage you're actually doing. So you do get some damage, bonus damage from this physical attack. Your attack is high enough, you found a weak spot in the armor, and your attack is successful. Well, if you just did it by the skin of your teeth, you're not going to do bonus damage. If your dagger does 1d2, you're going to do 1d2. But if you have a high enough physical attack, like if your physical attack is 10 times higher, then you'll do a little bit of extra damage. So then the physical damage itself is determined, so damage and damage reduction is determined by stat, like gear, determined by gear worn. Weapons will have set damage amount they do. Armor will have a set damage reduction amount. And it's not going to be like it always reduces damage by 10 or it always does 10 damage. It'll be a damage roll, a damage reduction roll, or whatever. But if you get better armor and attack, it's going to be higher. And your main stats are just determining essentially how successful you are in combat. So are you dodging? Are you doing damage? Are you avoiding damage? Yeah, are you attacking successfully? Are you dodging successfully? Or defending successfully, I guess. So, yeah, that's... And then if your dodge is high enough, but you still fail the dodge roll, it'll get some bonus damage reduction. So your armor plus whatever, you'll get a little extra. So I'm thinking these are the stats that I want. I'm going to get rid of willpower points. I think I'm going to take that. Say I just want HP and SP, and I want physical attack and physical dodge. Oops. And that should go back. What have I done? There we go. Selected too many. And then damage and damage reduction are going to be just by stats. That'll be just by gear. I mean, it'll be done by what you're wearing, what you have equipped. This will be very simple. And I think every character will start with a set amount of everything, so 10 of everything. And then you'll have maybe 5 points per level. So at level 1, you'll start out with 5 bonus points. So start with 10. Okay, and then just like everything starts at 10. And then first, every level, you'll get 5 bonus or 5 stat points to distribute, including, we'll say stat points. When starting, character will have plus 5 stat points to distribute. Every level, player gets 5 stat points to distribute. So, at the very beginning, you'll have everything is 10. Maybe I'll make that 10. I mean, the numbers will go out of control real fast. But it actually makes a little more sense to have it a little higher, because if you just have 5, you're going to be very likely to sink it all into one stat. But if you have 10, you might put 5 here and 5 there, or something like that. So you want to make a very dodge-based character. You might dump it all on physical dodge at the very beginning, and then that's going to be your avoidance. Like, that's what I do in Great Caves of Cut. I get my dodge value up as fast as possible. I love the physical dodge in that game, or it's not even called physical dodge, it's called dodge value. So, this is the stuff I need to think about. But I can already start to put this stuff in here. And I can put it into everything. So in player space, we can actually have, this is a really dumb way to do this, but this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to call this stats, and I'm going to say int HP, int SP, int physical attack, int physical defense, int ranged attack, ranged defense. Oh, and magic will be ranged. I mean, you'll have both. So, like, think about D&D. You have flaming hands, so you can do flaming hands. That would be a physical, like, that would be close range, and maybe we call them melee instead of physical. close range. So C, whatever. But then if you have fireball, that's ranged. You're shooting a fireball across the room, that's ranged. So magic will use the same stats. But then if you equip a sword as a wizard, if you have a high physical, because you're doing flaming hands a lot, and then you pick up a sword, you're going to be good with the sword. So maybe there'll be penalties based on class. I don't know. I'll have to think about this. But the way that I'm keeping track of stats in the player space now, I've added a new struct called stats. And this is the only place I'm ever using it. Well, maybe monsters will have it too. But since this is the only place I'm using it now, I'm just defining it here, and then I'm type defing one. So I'm like essentially making a new variable in here called stats. So when we do player init, we need to set those all equal to whatever. And I need also one other thing, int bonus points. So these are your bonus points. I probably also need experience points. I don't like that. That's a keyword, exp. So we'll call it EP. And then we'll call it BP. Why not? This is the worst variable names ever. EP and BP. So experience points are going to be your leveling up mechanism, obviously. And then EP is going to be BP is going to be how many bonus points you get. All right, so in player init now we need to do init player space. Set stats. And this is setup visibility base and initialize to 0. Okay. And what we're going to do is player stats. And now in here I can do this stuff. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, bonus and EP. So EP is going to be 0, bonus points are going to be 10, and everything's going to be 10. So stamina points, physical attack, physical dodge, ranged attack, ranged dodge. So now we have everything ready to go, and then I need to output those to the save file. So we need to do a few things here. Okay, this is just letting me see what's up. Fprintf f d d d 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Okay. Replace. Get rid of this. And then there we go. Right now, this is a plain text file that people can just go in and mess around with. And similarly to what I did before, I'll have to load these files as well. And let's put it here. And that should be fscanf. Then I should put one of these. It's actually easier for me to copy and paste the ampersand than to type it in every time. Funny. But it is what it is. All right. So now I need to compile. Oh. player. Oh, this should be P, of course. Of course. It worked. All right, so let's go ahead and make a new game. Walk around a bit. Apely vcree here. Okay, that's enough. Save and quit. Go back in, load game. I mean, it appears to have loaded, so, and then I'm going to save and quit again. So let's just go and load that file. Game.dat. Go to the bottom. And look at that, interesting. I know what's happening with this. It's adding a new line because it's actually loading the new line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm going to just try something real quick. I don't like this F gets F thing. It's freaking me out, man, when we load the player with F gets F. So what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to put that back in, and then I'm going to say P name. Salem, the witch trials. So then, wait, wrong Salem. Welcome back, Sax. Good to see ya. A long drive. I don't know how long that drive is. I really don't know. Could be like a 15-minute drive for all I know. I've been awash in the land of save files. All right, let's make a new game. And then walk around a bit, quit, and then we're gonna load it. Crocodile, still crocodile. Save and quit. And now I want to load that file again. Go to the bottom, and hooray. I wonder about that. Let's, can I look at the tail of game.dat? Okay, it adds a new line at the end. That's just a standard thing to do. That's fine. But now it has the stats in there. So HP, SP, PA, PD, RA, RD, BP, and EP. Yeah, it's fine. And it also got rid of that thing it was doing where it was adding an extra new line. So there we go. fscanf, always better than fgets. Fgets is a piece of shit. So now we can load it. Map's still here. Fantastic. I should figure out how to include Z standard in my program to compress the file when saving and loading, decompress it and uncompress it. Decompress it and compress it, I mean. Z standard is actually the Facebook thing. So Facebook came out with this algorithm, which is pretty brilliant. You know, Facebook needed an algorithm for streaming, like to compress streams, and it came up with a really good one, Z standard. It's ZSTD, and it is one of the best compression algorithms out there, I think. A lot of people are very impressed with it. It's very fast for compressing, decompressing, and getting good compression ratio. And they made it MIT licensed, so it is completely free and open source. So very smart people made this algorithm and then didn't close it off to the world. Made it open source. It sucks that it's Facebook, but you know, it's a compression algorithm. They're not like, or are they? They're not pulling your data every time you compress a file, because it doesn't send it to the mothership. Okay, good, good. Quit. Now let's load this again. And we are where we were. Go back downstairs. And we are. The exploration's all the same. So, beautiful. And close that. Not gonna get the spinning beach ball of doom again. Okay, one more thing here. Let's get ignore open. What was that file that I just did? Gameplay.txt. Okay, I don't want people seeing my shitty little design doc when they download, when they clone this. I don't want those LLMs to see my design document when they clone this repo, as they do when I commit it every time. So I guess I could actually commit right now too while I'm thinking about it. Added saving, loading, no, added loading, added menu, added a lot, title menu, loading, game, and player stats. 300 insertions, 62 deletions. That's one of the big ones right there. But it works, so I'm happy with it. Load. Everything is in memory. Now, how about this? Let's try this out. Let's make 10 maps. No, let's not make 10 maps. Let's make 100 maps. It's going to take about 25 seconds here. I don't give any feedback at all to the player. No feedback. No player feedback. Just assuming, what, I'm going to just hit N 30 times because it's not working. Okay. I just want to see how long it takes to load the file. It's actually going to be really fast, I bet. If it doesn't segfault. That's going to be a little harder. If it segfaults. All right, let's save and quit. Instantaneous saving. And if I look at the game dat, it's 1 megabyte. Let's try loading. Okay. I'm just going to save and quit. And one thing I want to do is I want to copy game.dat. I want to call it game.old. And then I'm going to do this again. Load, instantaneous, and then quit. And then I want to compare the two files. They're the same. They're exactly the same. So the thing is, when you save and quit, it overwrites the old file. It overwrote the old file. So I loaded the old file, and then I saved it. They're the same file. That's how it should be. Segment Ethan fault, yeah. I love seg faults. So seg faults are one of my favorite kind of errors because they're just like you just tried to access this is what a seg fault is. It's like you got to the edge of the universe and you tried to push your hand outside of the universe. That's what just happened. And so as a result, the universe crashes. That's literally what it is. You get to the very edge of the universe, you push your hand outside of the universe, and the universe crashes. That's what a seg fault is. So that was great. That just it loaded. This is a huge file too. I mean, this is like 1 megabyte file. So this was me pushing the file, pushing the save load to its limits. Like, as if I load this file, it is just like, that's as small as it'll get. It's just like hundreds of maps. Awesome looking maps. They look great when you zoom out like this, when you're looking at text. This is the Matrix. Like the Matrix, man. And saves the visibility. So I explored this. Explored that shit. Didn't explore any of this. So I like that a lot, but I'm going to change this back to 10 because it's a lot nicer to have a 2-second when I'm doing a lot of testing and stuff. Much nicer to only have to wait 2 seconds and instantaneously have all your maps. Actually, I should probably change that if I'm being honest here. Let's not get the beach ball of death again. Let's change this to 5 because 5 is enough. And it's just about the same amount of time to do 5 maps as it is to do 10. The map algorithm, the reason it takes so long is it tries to generate a map. It is very unlikely for that map to be good. There's going to be orphan rooms and everything like that. And so when that happens, it's just like, fuck it, I'm starting over, and it throws it out and it tries again. And the map algorithm, it's about 9 out of every 10 maps are going to get thrown away. So that's why it takes so long for it to generate just 10 maps. It's like sitting there for 2 seconds. On my Raspberry Pi, it sits there for 51 seconds. So it is quite a bit longer for it to generate maps over there. Okay, and let's just load that map. Yeah, it remembers. Look, it's our entire universe in a text file. I wonder if God has a text file like that. And he's up there compiling the universe, and he's like, oh shit, that person just stuck their hand through the edge of the universe. I got a seg vault. I have to add rules so that doesn't happen. That's why we have the speed of light. Because the universe is expanding at the speed of light, and we can't travel faster than the speed of light, so we can never get to the edge of the universe. So therefore, God does not have error checking. He doesn't check if we try to push our hands outside the edge of the universe. He's like, yeah, I should have error checking. I know I should have it. I'll do it later. It's not necessary to do it now. That's God of the universe. So if we do ever break the speed of light and we break the universe, it will just crash. This is real. This is in the Bible. I'm not making this up. Yo, Orbo. How's it going? This looks kind of like a bird or something. Like this is the beak, and this is the head, and this is the neck, and it's got like a little tiny. It's got tiny wings or something, and I don't know what this catastrophe is, but it was looking kind of like a bird here. Let's make it look less like a bird by exploring more. This is my game. I've made quite a bit of progress here. So as you can see, oh, Dragon Quest Monsters 3. That's fancy. I'm looking forward to that. I haven't bought it yet. I need to get a copy of it. I was going to buy it on Target. They didn't have it on their website yet, so I don't. It is a physical game, right? You can buy it in physical form. I can't imagine it isn't. But anyway, I need to buy it. Then I'll start playing it. I might stream it too. If I do, it'll be on Twitch. But yeah, this is the state of my game right now. So what you can see here is a lot of blue. The blue is areas where I've previously explored. I'm right here, obviously, I'm the white thing. And the white around him means that's what he can see. So then when he goes into a room, he can see everything in that room. And when he goes out of the room, he can only see around him, like Dragon Quest 1 torch. Like when you use a torch in Dragon Quest 1, that's what his vision in these tunnels is. That is by design, even though I hate torches in Dragon Quest 1. And so that's the visibility stuff. I did that yesterday. That was my mouse cursor. I'm like, why is it lighting up over there? And today I did saving and loading. So now I can quit, run it again, and load, and it remembers everything. Remembers everything. So now I can go back to that staircase over there and go up the tower. I'm climbing. This is supposed to be a tower. It doesn't look much like a tower, I know. But I can go and climb the tower. You know, if I reduce this to 8 rooms instead of 9, the map generation algorithm will be a lot faster. Be a lot faster. Up. Okay, there we go. And it wasn't just sitting there waiting. The maps, it generates the maps when you start the game. So all the maps are already generated. I only have 5. I'm only doing 5 now. That takes so long. But it would be, and when I say so long, it takes 2 seconds to make 10 maps. It takes 20 seconds to make 100 maps. I do wonder how much faster it would be if I change it to 8 rooms instead of 9, because every map has 9 rooms now. And this is a room. So this is a room. This is actually 3 rooms over here. One is here. This one was here, and then there was another one here. So this is like 3 rooms clumped together. But this is really fun too, just walking around exploring. So I know I get this with all my games. They start to feel like games, like a real game. I love the dead ends. I get dead ends now on my maps. I didn't get those before. I feel good. It's the only time I've ever felt good about hitting a dead end. It's my own map generation algorithm. Gives me dead ends. It makes me feel like I'm playing a real game, a real annoying ass game with dead ends. That's good. So I'll just have to. Maybe Target just doesn't have it yet. They like have it when you search. It comes up in the search bar, but then when you hit enter and go through to do the search, like the game, they don't have it. They don't actually have it. Maybe they have it on the other consoles. It's on the. It's got to be on the Switch. I'm pretty sure it's on the Switch. Is it on anything else? Is it on like PS3 and stuff? I don't know. It's got to be on the Switch because there was a demo for it on the Switch, wasn't there? This is how informed I am. All this easily Googleable stuff I don't even know about the game that I want to purchase and play. It's not super urgent because it's like on a long list of games, Dragon Quest games I need to buy and play. Switch exclusive. Yeah, it was on the Nintendo Direct. So, of course, it's a Switch, not only a Switch game, but a Switch exclusive. I might just yeah, it's not urgent. It's going to be $60 or whatever forever. Like it's never going to be cheap. They're never going to lower the price. Well, those are interesting connected rooms right there. So we got this one. It has a dark tunnel disconnecting the rooms, so when you're in this room, you can't see into this room. It's like a beaded curtain. And when you're standing in the beaded curtain, you can see both rooms, and then when you go through, you only see the one. And that happened twice. Although this one has the double beaded curtain, so you can only see one at a time. That's working as intended. That's not a bug. That is just emergent behavior of the dungeon. And I think it's pretty user-friendly. I think it's pretty intuitive here that the blue is just like stuff you can't see. I haven't done any more looking into different colors. You only do 8 colors on the terminal, but there's when I look in the terminal settings, the profile has colors, right? It has normal and it has bright, and it's actually using normal right now. So this is white on black. This is white on black. This is white on black. Let me go into a room and make it bigger. Hello, are you a room? But when I go into, so this is white on black, but it's actually like gray on black. It's not white on black, because when I quit, now this is white on gray. This is the bright, so it's like bright white on bright black. And this is just white on black, so it's not bright. So if I could somehow combine the brightness, and then I could get away from blue. I don't like the blue. I'd like it to be gray. But I don't know how to do that yet. I haven't looked into it. And I also love that I could just quit out right now and then say whatever, do whatever, and then I can just come back in and my map still exists. How cool is that? Oops, get out of look mode. Oh yeah, and I have a cursor. I forgot all about my look cursor. That was like one of the first features I put into the game. The great part about the look cursor is it sits there blinking. See it blinking? It's flashing. Well, By default, the cursor doesn't blink. I had to write code to make it blink. It's blinking 4 times a second, on and off. So that was pretty cool. And it still works. The one thing I don't have is I don't have doors. So I don't have doors. I think I need to put doors back in. And I can actually do logic for doors anywhere there's a space where there's a dot, a wall, and a dot, and then a room. A door could go there. So a door could go here. A door could go here. I don't see any other places right now where a door could go. A door could go here also. That'd be a natural place to put a door. Yeah, that would just stop you and you have to open the door. But anyway, let's see. Where am I at here? What am I doing? Player stats. So I've got the player stats in there, but I don't have character creation, all that. I don't have text log. I don't have character screen inventory. I think I need to do monsters next. I think monsters. It's just what I got to do. Got to do monsters. Monsters in combat. So I think I'll put it in so that you're immortal and you kill everything you touch. You touch it once, it dies. And then once I have that done, then I can go and start working on the other stuff to make it a real combat system where you have hit points and... Oh yeah, maybe the hit points could be displayed also on the screen right now. Where would they be? I also want to fix this. So this is the default width. I have all this space up here. Go ahead and fix some of that. Display. That is draw player info. So 1 plus 25. So what's 26 plus 25? 51. So this should be 51. And then the next one, 51 plus 25, should be 76. Then the next one should be 101. So we got the player. So we're going to do move print W 0 76 HP. Oh, and I just realized. Oh boy. Well, let's hold off on this. Because I just realized the player doesn't just need HP and SP, hit points and stamina points. They need max HP, max SP. That's because those are pools, so those fill back up. So now we need to go into player init and put in max HP and max SP. And then when we save the player, save player, we need to put those in. This is ugly. We get 2 more. Player HP. So player stats dot max HP. SP player stats max SP. Okay, and then down here I need to put those in. 2 more. Max HP. And then P stats max SP. Alright, my save files are now incompatible with the former save files. So let's just go ahead and start doing a little more work before I actually use that. So now I can do this and say player stats HP, player stats max HP. Then over here, that's SP, max SP. So there, now we have stats on there. So let's go ahead and make it. Uh-oh. Guess what I forgot? Somehow. Semicolons. 2 in a row. That is really a rare thing for me. Make a new game. And now we have HP and SP. And I think what I'm going to do here is this is a whole load of bullshit. It's in the wrong order. You probably want the more interesting information over to the left. So let's go ahead and save and quit. And then I'm going to just move these around a little. So time should be all the way to the right. And floor should be right before that. Then HP. HP and why don't I have an empty line here? So now let's order these. So 26, 51, 76, 101. Could have killed us all. Yeah, I could have. I did. Everyone died. A new universe formed, and okay, now they're in better order. So, and I could actually, you know, what would be really cool? Well, it would be cool for us people with color vision. It would be if your HP is above 50%, have it green. If it's below 50%, have it be red. Maybe that'll come later. I was also thinking maybe I could do like floor in here could be a different color. Like it could be brown, and then the tunnels could be, you know, everything would be brown. Yellow and then brown. I don't know. I'm a very unvisual person, so the fact that there's any color at all in this game, it's not even for the color, it's for the functionality. That is very cool. This room only has one tunnel connected to it. I love that. And it has another one, but it's a dead end. Immediate dead end tunnel. And look at this one too. Only one tunnel. This is going to be a cool map. I'm going to explore this whole thing. Emergent dungeon design. And it's just a fully dead end right there. Now I'm not colorblind, but 10% of males are. So it is 10% of men have color blindness. Like that is a really high percent. So you probably know colorblind people without knowing it because it is an invisible disability. I think about that when I design figures for papers. I always use colorblind friendly color schemes because 5% of the people reading that paper are going to be colorblind, just by the statistics alone. Actually, I don't know. I guess women can be colorblind too. I don't know what the rate for women colorblindness is. I think it's an X carried gene, and men only have one X chromosome, so that's why they have at a higher rate. They only have one chance to have color sight, whereas women have two chances. Both your brothers are colorblind, and you're not. So there you go. I didn't even need to like tell you that you knew people that have it, because you know people who have it. All of us do, whether we know it or not. One of my professors when I was in grad school had color blindness, and he always pointed out when a figure, we would do journal club, and he would always point out when a figure in a paper was like not friendly, because he'd be like, I can't tell which they're talking about here. And a lot of people use red and green for figures. It is almost universal. Like 2009 was a very common time where people used red to represent down regulation and green to represent up regulation. So it was a very common color scheme, red and yellow and green. So it would be like red for down regulation, green for up regulation, and yellow for no regulation. So that's very common. And there just be so many papers. This turned out to be a really cool map. So this is 2 rooms, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's my 9 rooms. And there's a lot of dead ends. 1, 2, 3, 4, if you count that. A lot of little dead ends here and there. And then not too much big, thick tunnel, which I don't like the big, thick tunnel as much. This is fine too, because when you're in here, you can actually see both tunnel spaces. But this one turned out really cool. And I'm on the staircase up. And I have HP, and I have SP, and I have floor 2, and I have time. Time is like, who cares? It's the least important thing. And I have look cursor. Look, you see yourself. You see open floor. You see open path. You see stone wall. Yeah, I should figure out the ASCII symbols for like a square so I can have a more convincing door. I think that would be cool. And then I can put logic to have doors back in, because right now doors are like, what are they? It's in disp.c. A door is just like an O. And that's not a very good door symbol. Even the walls, I kind of don't like the walls. Maybe if I did the square symbol for the walls. I need to look at an ASCII table. That's what I need to do. ASCIItable.com. What do we got? Let's open the ASCII table. Why not? Already like it's 1979. When did Windows ASCII? I don't really even know. And let me just, I lost my chat. There it is. So what do we got here symbol-wise? There's not a whole lot. I might need to use extended ASCII. Yeah, extended ASCII. There we go. So these would be good symbols. These would be good for something. I think you can probably print F extended ASCII. So let's just, ooh. Can't copy and paste that? Are you kidding me? That's an image? This is an image. Look what happens. Fooled me, Jerry. So 219, huh? Let's try it. Let's see what happens. I think characters are unsigned, or are they signed? So well, let's see what happens. Nope. Did not work. It did not work indeed. Wow, that's really weird without the walls. When you don't have walls, it is just so weird. Okay, it didn't work. Damn, I need to figure out how to do extended ASCII then. Because I know you can do, I'm pretty sure you can do emojis. I think I've done it before. How do I do that? Is it like this? So let's just put that guy in. Character too large. Okay, I can't put it in a character literal type. It doesn't allow it. You can print F those though. You can, because it's like two characters. It takes two characters. You need two instead of one, so that won't work. Which is fine. Let's just we'll mess with that later. I have to figure it out. Figured out. Lights out. Yeah, that was a real lights out situation, which I couldn't believe. It was just drawing. I mean, because the open rooms have nothing. It's just a space. And so the only thing, when you're not drawing the walls, the only thing you see are the stairs and the paths. It was very lonely feeling. So if you get hit with a magic spell called wall blindness, that's what's going to happen. Klaupe Pusar. Great name. Great random name there. I asked ChatGPT. I posted my random name generator to ChatGPT, and I asked it what it does. And it told me what it did. It figured it out. It was like it builds up a name, a random name from syllables. And so I said, okay, ChatGPT, give me 100 examples of names that this function would generate. And it gave me 100 names. About 90% of them cannot be generated by my name generator. So it did not actually use my code to generate. It didn't use my code to generate the names. It just kind of came up with fake names on its own. I love ChatGPT. It's so terrible. So awful and stupid. All right. Look at me playing my game instead of working on it. It's just so fun, though. It is really fun. If you have access to a Linux machine, you could try, you can clone this and try playing it. And it's pretty fun to control, and it's fun to explore, and it's fun to stay at the YMCA. And it's fun to save and load. Look at that. I just saved, and it's still there. Everything's there, and that is, I have 5 rooms, and it's 52K for the save file. So let me, I did make some differences here, so let me go ahead and commit these. Added some more stats, and push. 5 changes, 12 insertions, and 5 deletions. That's gonna do it here for me. I'm like running on empty now, so I think I've gotten a lot of stuff done. Pretty proud of what I've done today. Just thinking ahead, monsters are gonna be next. Then maybe combat. I need character creation. I guess I got player stats done. Player needs an inventory though, character screen, so that actually needs to come at some point. Text log is always a whenever you want to do it kind of thing. I probably maybe I want that before combat. Character screen inventory, pathfinding. That's going to be it's going to be after loot because pathfinding is a son of a bitch. I have to learn A star. I don't want to learn A star. I'll just write a function to do it. I'll just ask ChatGPT to write me a function to do. Hey, I need an A star function. Yeah, anyway, thanks for hanging out. This is uploaded on my GitHub, so if you want to check it out, it's Ethan. It's the GitHub name, so it's there. It's uploaded now, so I just had 1 million bots clone it. I'm sure. I notice every time I upload it, every time I push a bunch of bots download it. So it's very popular among. It's probably LLMs. That's what I think it probably is. They're downloading it, so that's why they're giving people wrong answers with code, because the LLMs are reading my code and they're coming up with code based on like really bad code like mine. Because it gets cloned by like 30 people every time I upload it. And there's definitely not actual real people downloading it, so I don't, it would be cool if they were, but I don't think they are. But yeah, thanks for hanging out. Hopefully you had some fun watching me make some progress. I definitely had fun today. I can load the game. That alone makes this all worth it. Saving and loading. I had saving yesterday, and now I have loading. It's really coming along. And these are really small things, but keep in mind, these small things, they feel so huge to me because it's so much work to actually do. This is all built in C. I'm not writing this in Unity. I'm not writing this in Python. I'm not, writing this in Game Maker. I'm writing this in C, so it's a pretty big accomplishment, I think, to write this kind of thing and have it work so functionally and actually feel like a game. I think it's a pretty good achievement. My crowning achievement. Oh yeah, one more thing I need to do before I quit. I need to go back to disp.c and this check windows function. I was just like, LLDB does not like that. So, all right, and it runs. It's fine. It's perfectly fine. Yeah. So let me actually add that. I got to turn that off when I debug, but when I'm not debugging, I don't have to worry about it. For some reason, LLDB does not like to look at the window size, so it thinks the window size is smaller. Yeah, and saving loading is big, and player stats, and visibility, all that stuff. I mean, this is a different game today than it was 2 days ago. It was so much simpler, and the map generation algorithm fixes. This is a different game entirely. So it has just like made huge advancements through the power of evolution today and yesterday. Power of the power of natural selection. I'm a biologist, so that's what I'm saying. Through intelligent design, this is made. It actually is intelligent design. Damn. Cool. Save and quit. And that's it. See you later. Bye. Whoops. Bye.